Yeah.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check.
There you go.
Check, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, 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 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Question mic, check, check, 1, 2. Question mic, check, check, check. Check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Question mic, check, check, check. Check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check, 1, 2. Microphone check, check, 1, 2, microphone check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, check, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, check, 1, 2, microphone check, microphone check, microphone. I've done this a lot. Yeah, just a lot of microphone checks. You just keep talking about anything, whatever, just nonsense. Just check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check. Answer.
All right, guys, welcome to the press conference for the Disc Golf Pro Tour Match Play Championship. This is a new event for all of us. Pretty exciting. We've got our first matchup here, Colten Montgomery versus Eagle McMahon, the Discmania boys. You guys go pretty far back, huh? How early in your disc golf career, Colten, did you find out about Eagle McMahon?
I mean, I feel like my whole disc golf career, Eagle has kind of been around. Maybe, I mean, I've been playing 13 years, so there might have been like the first year or two that maybe Eagle wasn't around. But as far as I can remember, Eagle and I have kind of been playing against each other. So,
yeah, I remember like 2010 or maybe even before that playing Grateful Disc. It was a B tier up in Colorado, and me and Colten were like second to last card in intermediate, and I remember Colten saying, "I just have to move up a card. I can't be bottom card going in tomorrow." And I ended up, I actually finished last in that tournament. Colten beat me, but he also had, I think, 3 or 4 years on me at the time. I was like,
yep,
9 years old.
So, yeah, we go way back. It's cool to look back on now.
It's extremely cool. You guys are both Pro Tour champions, both on Team Discmania. What does it mean to compete against one of your teammates, Eagle?
It's pretty cool. I'm excited that Colten's the first person I get to play. Especially like what you're saying, and we're both from Colorado. We both rely on some power for our game, so it should be some fireworks out there.
All right, Eagle. I want to talk about your comeback at the Green Mountain Championship. You found yourself in 80th place after the first round, and you finished inside the top 10. Can you talk about how difficult it is to make that kind of comeback from that deep?
Yeah. Nowadays on tour, especially first round, I feel like most of the time, most players play a lot of time their best round, round one. So I wasn't quite on my game. I had some bad breaks, and I found myself way down the leaderboard and kind of forced myself to, put the leaderboard aside for, rounds, 2 and 3, and then, final day, I was 26th place, and I just saw, okay, maybe I'm 4 strokes outside the top 10. If I shoot the hot round, around 10 under, maybe I can climb up to top 10, and that would be a really good day. And, luckily some things went my way on Fox Run, and luckily I got a pretty good finish at GMC. At this point, top 10 at any event is a lot of times a finish a lot of people really strive for and is a major goal for some people. So I was definitely proud of myself that I could claw my way back into a good finish.
And speaking of top 10 finishes, Colten, you haven't finished inside the top 10 this season, but you do make it into the top 16 for this match play event. What does it mean to make it into the top 16 with the stiff competition that's out there on the tour this year?
Well, I definitely lucked into getting into this event with Paul and potentially Drew not playing. I think I was the 18th seed and then squeaked in. It was on my radar all year to make it into this event, and obviously was eyeballing top 10 finishes all year, and I think 2, 3, 4 times I was just outside of the top 10 and 12th or 13th place. So not how I envisioned getting into match play, but nonetheless stoked to be here and excited to play one of the best players in the world the first round.
All right, Colten, what aspect of Eagle's game allows him to be so successful out there?
In my opinion, actually there's 2 things. His forehand, to be able to step up to a 400, 450 foot shot that finishes to the right and just be able to step up and throw a forehand, I think is a massive advantage, having that forehand and backhand. And then I played with the kid at GMC last weekend, one of the rounds, and every time I thought that maybe he threw like a not so great upshot, leaving himself 45, 50, like he made every single putt, and it's just, forehand and that putt, I think, definitely is what elevates his game.
Eagle, what aspect of Colten's game do you think allows him to find success on the Pro Tour?
He's been playing for a long time, and he has that backhand pretty dialed in. His signature series disc is the Lone Howl, the PD, and pretty much any time he gets to throw that, it's going to be in the fairway. It's going to go a long way, and he's got the control. He's working on his forehand, but he really shines when he can throw a long backhand shot or even a more controlled style backhand shot.
So looking at the matchup for this week, what do you think you're going to change with it being match play versus stroke play?
Yeah, that's a good question, because out here, you want to be aggressive, but if you're too aggressive, then you can find yourself out of bounds and giving your competitor a win on the hole, which is not really what you want to do. So I think the person who didn't throw quite as far as going first might have the advantage a lot of the time. So maybe I'll be disking down a few times to put the pressure on Colten. So something along those lines. The person throwing first, I think, has some advantage.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting way to look at it. So, Colten, what are you going to change up, knowing that you are going against one of the longest throwers that we've ever seen?
To be completely honest with you, I think this might be like my first professional match play that I've been a part of. So definitely on unfamiliar territory here. I'm going to try and play my game. Obviously, there's going to be times where I might have to do something that's not necessarily up my alley, to try and attack. But for the most part, I'm just going to try and play within myself. And at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. I'm just thankful and honored to be here.
Well, taking a look at the stat Mando, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but you can do head-to-head matchups. And the matchup for you guys, Eagle, you're 72-5-1 against Colten all time on the tour. Colten, you're going to have to dig deep on this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to dig deep and hopefully let him make the mistakes.
Well, cool. Well, Colten, I want to say congratulations to you on your engagement. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel very lucky and honored to be spending the rest of my life with Kona. You know, we've been on tour since 2018, part-time in the Discmania RV, now in the van, and I think anyone that's been in a relationship in a van can realize, like, you know, it takes a special someone to be able to spend every single day in such a confined space. And with the help of some friends and family, you know, I was able to pull off hopefully the perfect proposal, you know, revolving around disc golf, because that's what our lives that's what we do. And yeah, looking forward, I mean, I don't know, we're kind of eyeballing Vermont next year after the Green Mountain Championship to get married. So yeah, just lucky to have her by my side, and lucky that Hot Cocoa both gets to play this weekend.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for being here. I'm pretty excited about y'all's matchup and about the week ahead. Any final comments about this new Pro Tour event?
I'm excited to play. Thank you to the Disc Golf Pro Tour for giving us the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And cool to see Discmania stepping up and sponsoring a big Pro Tour event. So excited to have them on board, and excited to be playing a Discmania teammate.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Best of luck to both of you.
Thanks.
I don't care. It's funny.
All right, guys. Second match of the day. Ezra Aderhold facing off against his teammate Adam Hammis.
Yeah.
Ezra, first question. Your biggest finish of the year happened to be the first tournament of the year, taking second place at the Las Vegas Challenge. Can you talk to us about what that finish meant for your career and what it means that you haven't yet found that success since that first tournament?
Yeah, I mean, at the time that was huge. You know, obviously it was kind of a pop-off tournament, and I think it helped get my name out there and kind of prove that I could play at that level. It would have been nice to play at that level again throughout the season, but I think my game's priming, and I think maybe this could be that event. But yeah, just, you know, that style of disc golf really suits my game, just a big open ball golf course. That's kind of what we have out here also. I'm excited to attack it.
Yeah, you feel like you have an advantage over Adam here?
I think I do, yeah. His putt is tough to compete with, but you got to keep the disc in bounds. You got to throw it a long way, so I think that's going to play to my strengths.
Adam, what aspect of Ezra's game do you think allows him to stay competitive out there on the Pro Tour?
I think his aggressiveness and, obviously his distance. When his putt's on, I think he can, put up some really good scores. We've definitely seen it when his putt's going. He's always aggressive, and I think, playing aggressive on, big courses like this is going to pay off,
So what aspect of his game do you think that he can improve on and that you might have an advantage on?
Probably his putting, maybe his step putt. Yeah, I don't know. So you can throw the disc, 600 feet, and have a 30-footer, and I've definitely seen him miss a couple. So you have to make his putts.
And Ezra, same question. What aspect of Adam's game here allows him to find success on the tour?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think Adam's kind of known for his putting. He's just lights out. Anyone inside of 50 feet, he's basically going to count it as going in. His forehand is really good too. His forehand up shot game is insane. And his backhand's coming together a lot as well this season, which kind of shows in his couple big wins. So yeah, definitely going to be tough competition, but I'm excited for it.
And what aspect do you think that he could improve on?
Probably like backhand consistency. Sometimes he kind of throws it sideways and finds OB. But other than that, I mean, his game is solid, and that's why he's one of the best players in the world.
I'm curious how it's going to work out there. Are people going to be talking smack during the round?
I think we'll be talking smack against the Discmania boys.
Probably chirp him a little bit. Probably chirp you. Probably chirp Eagle.
There we go.
There'll definitely be a little bit.
You'll be talking smack against them, but not each other.
We'll see.
It's a good idea. But we're playing each other, so we should talk to each other.
And Adam, speaking of your 2 victories this year, Santa Cruz and Maple Hill, which one meant more to you?
They both mean a lot. Winning the first one, definitely, when the first one feels really good. I'm definitely going to never forget that moment and, how special that was. But MVP was probably a little bit more special to me, how much I love Maple Hill and I love the tournament. Just love being in Massachusetts and, that upper, Northeast. So definitely probably the Maple Hill one a little bit. It's pretty fair for both of them, but the Maple Hill one probably.
So having won a national tour and a pro tour, what's next on your list? What are your disc golf goals?
Obviously, I'd like to win a major. A couple more Elite Series victories. Just keep chipping away each tournament. So, just looking forward to each and every week, and try to capitalize on each tournament. So. All
right. So looking closer in at the matchup, have you guys played match play before, Ezra?
I don't think I have. I mean, I've played in playoffs. And that's probably the closest thing, but never an actual match play event.
Do you think that you'll be adjusting your strategy at all on the course?
Yeah, I think every hole and probably every shot will be kind of situational, just depending on if I'm throwing first or second, or depending on what he does, or depending on where our score is at in the event. So I think it's gonna be huge.
Mm-hmm. Adam, you think you're gonna be adjusting your strategy out there?
Yeah, I feel like maybe second on the tee box could be a little bit of an advantage this week. You get to play off of what the other person did. But yeah, just situational things, kind of like Ezra said. We'll kind of just have to do and throw the shot that is demanded for the situation to win. So yeah, it's pretty situational. Kind of take it as it goes.
Have you had some time to check out the course out here at the Steel Club?
Yeah, I played 12 holes yesterday, and there's some long holes, there's some good holes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just throw this long and in bounds.
Cool. Anything else you guys would like to add? Any takeaways from the season? This is our first event outside the regular season. What are some takeaways from the long year, Ezra?
It's getting more and more competitive. There's a lot more players that are coming up and playing super well, and it's even more tough every single week to compete and get in the top 10 or get a win or whatever it may be. And it's going to be no different at this event.
Mm-hmm.
So the word is that it's a $10,000 purse for first, tying the second biggest all time for a pro tour.
Oh,
yeah.
What does that say about the pro tour coming in with a purse like that for this new event?
Yeah, the pro tour is everything for the touring disc golfer. They're setting up these special events for us and giving us the opportunity to make a little extra money, and definitely appreciate it. It's been great. Looking forward to the pro tour finale and seeing how big that gets this year. I know it's going to be pretty wild. So yeah, just the pro tour just elevating everything for us, the disc golf in general, viewers, and everything.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it just kind of speaks to how fast disc golf is blowing up and getting more recognition. I think having bigger pulses is going to help that and help kind of change the narrative from the public's perception of disc golf, and I think that's going to be huge.
Who's taking it down?
I think I'm going to.
Better putt good, buddy.
I think I will.
Thank you guys for being here. And any final comments for us?
Thank you, Nate, for asking the questions.
Thank you, Pro Tour. Thank you, Discmania. Thank you to all the sponsors that go into this event. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Best of luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Cool.
All right, guys, we're here with our next matchup, Kyle Klein against Chris Dickerson. All right, so your matchup takes me back to last October when you were battling for a major title. Chris, you ended up taking that one down. Kyle, how fresh on your mind has that tournament been, if at all?
Hasn't been fresh really at all. I've kind of just got to block everything out because not a great experience in that final round, getting rained on and being cold and wet. So, I mean, overall the experience was fun, but I've just kind of tried to block that round out of my mind. I'd rather not go through that again.
But the tournament itself was a big moment for you because you showed the world that you could compete at the top level, not just a tour event, but one of the biggest majors of the year. What positives can you take away from that tournament?
Just the ability to know that I can do things that a lot of other people can do. That even though I'm kind of a new face on tour, I'm like still kind of new and still up and coming. That I can still hang with the people that have been here for 5-10 years. So it's just kind of a refreshing and good feeling knowing that I can hang with them.
And Chris, same question to you. That was the biggest tournament win of your career out of the 146 tournament wins and counting. How fresh is that tournament on your mind?
Probably about like 8 to 10 months fresh. It's, I try to put every tournament behind me, no matter good play, bad play, because you can't take it into the next.
What was that final round like in the rain?
It was awful.
I agree. I very much agree.
All right, so a little bit more fresh on the mind. Let's go back just 1 week to your first regular season Pro Tour victory.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like for you coming down the stretch of that tournament?
It was really good to be able to stay focused. I had a couple of hiccups, a couple of really bad hiccups actually, but it was good to push through and finish strong.
And Kyle, you also won your first Elite Series Pro Tour event this year at Idlewild. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that win meant for you?
It meant a lot, just knowing that was kind of like the not so much like the push off for my career. I've had a couple wins earlier in the season, but in terms of like Elite Series and like the big tour, it was kind of just like a launching point for me. Like that was my first one, and I know going forward that there's no tournament I can't win.
So Chris, how's your game faring up for this course here at the Steel Club?
I think it's going pretty good so far. In the practice days, I've noticed you don't really need like disc golf course distance on an open course like this. You need that little bit of extra distance. So it's, kind of trying to remember how to throw further than you normally would on a disc golf course. So it's taking a little bit of getting used to, but I think we're there.
So can you dive in a little deeper on that for us and the viewers at home? What do you do personally to get that extra distance on a course like this?
Just focus on your form, basically. Reach back a little further, engage your hips, really focus on the angle of your disc. Instead of just throwing a hyzer, now you can hyzer flip, flex things, get more distance on your shots.
So Chris, who do you think has the distance advantage out of you two?
What do you think?
I think we're about the same. We're relatively
I got him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. My TV was on just autoplay of some YouTube videos, and I saw you out at Jones Gold at DDL. Threw a pretty far shot. I said, dang, don't think I can do that.
Now I'm really eager to see. All right, so Kyle, what shot would you like to have out of Chris's bag that he uses on the tour?
Oh boy. All of them. If I really had one, I'd say it's his controlled distance FX2 shots. I'd say he throws that disc better than anyone I've seen, and it doesn't look hard when he throws them. Whenever he throws them for, it just looks easy for him. So if I could take one, it'd be that one.
And what aspect of Chris's game do you think that you have an advantage over him on?
Forehand distance, I think. But I had never like prided myself in having a big forehand, but it's been coming around lately. I've been figuring out how to get a little bit more turn and flex on my shots, so I'd say I have a little bit of an advantage on that one. But I've noticed playing the couple practice rounds I've played, it doesn't come to much use here. There's a lot of backhand shots. There's not a lot of huge forehand shots, so won't be too helpful here, but yeah.
And Chris, same question for you. What aspect do you really like about Kyle's game?
I was thinking about that just before he said it, his distance on his forehand. He's definitely got me on forehand distance, but like he said, it doesn't really come into play that much out here.
And what aspect do you think that you could teach him a thing or two on?
First thing that comes to mind is probably scrambling, because scrambling you have to manufacture a lot of different types of shots: forehand, backhand, overhand, rollers. But there again, this being more open course, I don't think it's really going to come into play that much.
Have either of you played a match play event before, Kyle?
I haven't. I mean, just the press conference before this, Ezra said playoffs is the closest thing he can think of. Going back to Idlewild, that's probably the closest thing I've even come to playing match play.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting playoff with one of your good friends from Michigan.
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
It was really cool. Just knowing that we've kind of been in that situation before, and I've played against him numerous times, and then seeing it come down wire to wire with him on the big stage was really cool.
Chris, have you been thinking about how you're going to alter your strategy going into this event?
Kind of, because I play quite a few match play events. We play the Virginia Team Invitational every year. Earlier this year was the first time I've missed it in 4 or 5 years. So match play is a completely different setup than stroke play. So you've got to know exactly what the person you're playing is doing. If they take a 12, you only have to take an 11. That's basically what it comes down to.
Any final comments about the event itself, about the $10,000 purse, and anything at all they'd like to add?
Not much, except I'm just going to do my best to take him down.
Who's taking it down, Chris?
We'll have to see. Like every event, whoever shows up, more than likely going to do it. If you show up and you kind of slack, probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys at 10:30 tomorrow. Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
We've got Garrett Gurthie going up against Kevin Jones. Quite the matchup here, guys. Welcome to the show.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, Nate.
All right, Kevin. 11 top 10 finishes this season, but no wins. How has a top 10 finish changed for what it has meant to you in the past for what it means now?
Well, in the past, top 10 was a goal, and now it's kind of an expectation. Anytime I finish in the top 10, though, nowadays, I'm just happy that I'm in there for the battle, usually in it on that final day. Those are a lot more fun to me rather than fighting for that 9th or 10th position.
And Garrett, really consistent all year, but just one top 10 finish on the Pro Tour. What would you say is keeping you outside of the top 10 this season?
I definitely say it's been my putting. As of recently, I picked up the Disc Dot as my recent sponsor, and ever since I've been using the Disc Dot, this isn't just like a plug for them, but it really has been helping my game and shaping my putt a little bit better. Putting a couple of the Disc Dots on the chains on a couple directions, and I definitely feel the putt's been the struggle, but the last few tournaments it felt a lot better. I think I finished the GMC at 92% in circle 1 or 85%, somewhere around there, which is way better than normal. So the putt's improving, definitely been working on that, and we get a chance to rip out some bombs this weekend, so I'm going to try to take Kev down out on the course.
Yeah, do you feel like that you might have an advantage over Kev here due to the distance at the Steel Club?
100%. I know he's got an arm, but I threw one 779 today. I know it's downhill, but as long as I get him in the circle, I think I have a chance to take him down pretty easily.
Go ahead, Kev.
I have nothing to say to that. He threw one 779 downhill today. It's pretty sick.
Garrett, are you going to be attacking full on out there? Are you going to be going for eagles? Do you think that you need eagles to beat out Kev?
I don't think so. Not knocking him here, but this course is really, really hard around the green. So I feel like if we keep it in play without going out of bounds, play a little bit of conservative, it is going to be strategic. I feel like some of the matches that might be someone coming in with the shorter arm might play just as well as someone with the long arm, because we want a little bit more, and sometimes when we get greedy we might throw it out of bounds. But I'll definitely be keeping that in mind out there. So whoever's first on the tee is kind of the win dummy, you should say, but it really will come to effect tomorrow to see who's up on the tee and how you play your shots. So
Kev, how much thought have you been putting toward changing your strategy, it being a match play event?
I think we can expect that to be a very normal thing. This is going to be something totally new for me as far as playing against one single opponent per hole. In my truthful opinion, I think this is easily the most entertaining and interesting match of the first round matches that you're going to see. This course sets up extremely perfectly for us both, and honestly I would put us as the at least top 4 of the field in this one for the course that we're going to play. It just suits us so well. It'll be interesting to see the wind scenarios and just like the position scenarios where, for example, if I take a shorter drive off the tee, I'll be teeing first, so it's an opportunity to either put myself in a horrible position or apply pressure to him, and that's just going to be extremely entertaining to watch.
I agree. I mean, we're all on the edge of our seat wondering what's going to happen with these matchups. All right, Kev, what's one aspect of Garrett's game that has allowed him to find such success over the course of his career?
Well, he's easily one of the best backhand throwers that the game's ever seen, as far as when you combine distance and accuracy together, and the different angles that you're hitting as a player. Yeah, he's arguably the best.
And what aspect of his game do you think that you have an advantage over him on?
Well, sidearm is a good example. I think I can hit a few more angles and get a little bit more distance. And then, like he said, he's been putting great lately, so we'll see how that goes.
And Garrett, what shot from Kev's bag would you like to have in your bag?
I mean, some of the shots he kills is the hyzer flip. He throws that really nice, and obviously the sidearm. If I had a nice power sidearm, I feel like it'll complement my backhand game as well. So obviously he's one of the greatest putters. They don't call him Jump Putt Kev for no reason. So we'll be looking forward to some big putts out there, I'm sure, and you might see me lay up, but if he goes for them, it should be close. It really should be genuinely fun to watch how strategic not just me and Kev, but the other competitors on our card as well.
Yeah, I think so. And what aspect of Kev's game could you teach him a thing or two on?
I think if he can manipulate the angles a little bit more, not that he can't, but I feel like he throws a lot of hyzer flip. If he can learn how to take that and hyzer up high, I think he could throw the disc even further than he thinks he can.
Love to hear that. All right, so we're done with the regular season. Looking back on the regular season, Kev, you had quite the year. What were some of the big takeaways from your season?
Well, it's something I continue to say, but just I was in the mix more this year, I felt like, at some extremely big events such as the World Championships, where I easily had a chance to win my first world title. And then just multiple other Pro Tour events, you know, like Portland Open, I was right there. Even the Masters Cup, I should have had that one. But the biggest takeaway is the World's finish.
Yeah, and from the point of view of the fans, Portland and even the World Championship seemed like it was just ripped away from you. From your perspective, what was it like on hole 15 and hole 16 respectively? For Portland hole 15 and World's hole 16, is it fresh on your mind at all? Is it something that you carry close to you? Is it something that you've forgotten about completely? Or
honestly, I have a pretty short memory, so I do a good job of letting those things kind of not ruin me for a super long period of time, I would say.
That's a good mentality to have.
Garrett, who's taking it down?
I hope if it's anybody, it's me or Kev. I think we both have what it takes. I know Eagle's got an arm, Calvin's got what it takes, but I say if it's in our bracket, let's go me or Kev.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's
And
do it.
Kev, it
Let's
looks
go
like
hard.
your purse is safe for one more tournament, but this is a $10,000 purse. Kev, what do you have to say about that?
That's so exciting. There's a lot of things that we could do with that money.
Let's put it away for the retirement, baby.
That's a
All
good
right,
one.
guys, we'll see you at 10:30 tomorrow. Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, next matchup for the day, Calvin Heimburg, Chris Clemons. Calvin, what do you have to say about this man to your left?
I like Chris as a friend, but I can't like him anymore. I got to beat him tomorrow. I can't let any of those friendly feelings, creep into my mind. I have to beat him.
Chris, what do you have to say about that?
This is something I've been looking forward to for months. I started posting reels and Instagram posts about Calvin, trying to get in his head very early on. So I feel like it works. I'm in his head. You can just see it in his eyes. So feeling good.
I'm curious how that's going to translate onto the course. Do you feel like you're going to be trying to get into your opponent's head while you're out there, Chris?
Maybe. I think we'll see how it goes. I do feel like that will happen. It might be kind of hard. Calvin's pretty, he's Calvin, but yeah, we'll see.
It's going to take a lot of effort when you're down 6-6.
That's fair.
So, Calvin, you seem pretty stone cold out there when you're competing on the tour, but we've seen you outside of the tour open up a little bit. You've been the champion of the GK Pro Skins match, and it seems like your biggest skill out there is getting into the mind of your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of enjoy talking people into messing up. It's a nice hobby. Thankfully, GK Pro pretty much puts me on skins, I don't know, pretty often, so I gotta practice that skill. I don't know what we're allowed to do at this event. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk trash to Chris. I know it's not sanctioned, so maybe I can talk him into throwing OB a few times, make pars, win holes. Could be fun.
All right, so taking a look at the head-to-head record between you guys, Chris, Calvin's got you 51, 7, and 2. You've beaten Calvin 7 times over the course of your career.
But we've tied twice.
You've tied twice.
Did you guys include Am Worlds where he beat me?
What year was that?
2013.
Okay, so they didn't include that. Yeah, 2013.
Is that pretty fresh on your mind, Calvin?
Yeah, it's the only time I feel like he had a clear advantage over me.
It's true.
So, Chris, what are you going to have to do to beat Calvin at a course like the Steel Club?
I've been working on my rollers, throwing a lot of big forehands. You know, I feel like I'm going to have to throw in a couple longer looks, 50, 60, 70 footers. Wow. You know, if the wind gets up, you know, I know Calvin gets a little haywire in the wind. He likes to shank at OB a little bit, so, you know, maybe that can help me out.
Lucky for me, I know I can play safe since he's going to have to throw 2 max distance drives on the par 4s, and I don't have to, so I'm lucky there.
So, Calvin, what aspect of Chris's game allows him to find success on the tour?
He's just pretty consistent. He's got a really big forehand. He's disadvantaged in the fact that he's left-handed, but he makes up for it with his big lefty forehand. And he's pretty consistent putter, I feel like, so really good forehand, good putter. I mean, I don't think you really need much else.
And what aspect of his game could you teach him a thing or two on?
Probably his mental game. He's just fragile. He's fragile.
Chris, same question for you. What shot from Calvin's bag would you like to have in your bag?
I would like to have Calvin's ability at executing tunnel shots. I feel like, you know, a lot of courses we play, there's usually there's a lot of hyzers to be thrown, and I think that Calvin is one of the best at throwing tunnel shots, you know, darts, 400, 450 feet, and having a shot like that is super advantageous, even on open courses, because you can get under the wind, control distance. And so that's something I would like to be able to do. I can do it a little bit with the forehand, but I'd like to be able to do that backhand.
And what aspect of Calvin's game do you think he's lacking in?
Probably his confidence. He probably doesn't have like very much confidence in himself. I stayed with him a couple months ago, and this is the first time I've told you this, but I read through your diary a little bit, and Calvin, you know, he's very hard on himself. He's lacking confidence, and I try to uplift him every day. I'll send him a good morning text and tell him how special he is and how he's amazing, but he's working on it.
Man, if I can place as good as I do with no confidence, imagine what I could do with confidence.
Exactly. That's what I try to tell you.
I don't even know about these diary entries. I must write them while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
All right, so looking back on the regular season, Calvin, what were some of the highlights for you this year?
Highlights, getting my first 2 tournament aces. That was pretty exciting. Never gotten any of those before, and I got 2 this year. Other than that, I mean, I've played relatively consistent. Haven't pulled off any like solo wins at an Elite Series event, so no highlights there really. But overall, it's been a pretty consistent season, and I've been pretty happy with it. Hopefully we can finish strong.
Chris, what were some of the highlights from your regular season?
And that's a hard thing to answer. I haven't really thought about it yet, and it's crazy to think that the season's almost over. It felt like it just started. I remember having a very good time in Santa Cruz, and I had a lot of fun playing there. I really liked playing Des Moines, had a good finish there. I had a good finish at Waco. I think the summer in general was just a super fun time. Even spending time with Calvin at Airbnbs and stuff, like spending time with my friends and family has been super awesome.
Yeah, so what is it about this lifestyle on the Pro Tour that keeps you coming back?
I think it's things like this and being able to do something that I enjoy and that I love and that I want to be better at every single day. No day really feels the same, and it's exciting, and we kind of get to go and see places that a lot of people wish that they could. And so, I just love it.
$10,000 purse. Calvin, who's taking down this match and advancing?
I'm winning.
Chris, what do you got to say about that?
I'm glad he's finally being confident, but I'm gonna do my best. And we'll see what happens.
Well, cool. Thanks for the interview, guys.
We can see
Best
who's
of luck to
lacking
both
confidence. He's lacking confidence.
I'm just a kind person.
No, you should say you're winning. That's what you're supposed to say in this.
Okay, I'm winning.
There you go. Thank you.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Huh? All right, guys, I'd like to welcome the next matchup of the day, Gavin Rathbun versus Nikko Locastro. Nikko, who's got the advantage here and why?
Man, it's hard to say. I think the advantage goes to whoever's practiced the course the most, I guess. I mean, Gavin throws a long way, so I don't want to say out loud that, Gavin has the advantage, but I'd say he's got the distance, I got the distance. We could both put up scores on this course.
Gavin, what aspect of Nikko's game has allowed him to stay competitive for so many years?
I think it's because he wants to win. I think that's the biggest part for sure. He has a big heart for the game. He likes it.
Gavin, what aspect of Nikko's game could he improve on?
His putting, and maybe if he didn't think about it for so long, they might go in the basket a little bit more.
See a hand come out of nowhere.
We can wrestle.
Are we going to do our official weigh-in? No?
Yeah,
okay,
we will.
Go for it.
Nikko, what aspect of Gavin's game impresses you the most?
I would say his demeanor. I think his mental fortitude. He always just seems to have a good state of mind, which probably helps him score good. And he's got the distance, too. I think he's got a well-rounded game.
What aspect of his game could you teach him a thing or two on?
I guess taking time. Take a little more time on the putting green. Go through a routine, maybe a little bit more. Sometimes I see him just step up and rip shots, but that could also be a good thing at times, so you're not overthinking.
You know, I noticed that me and you were the two worst Circle 1 putters in the...
Really?
Yeah, in the competition.
Yeah, I don't even look at those stats. I don't really pay attention. I feel like half the time the person that's keeping score, they're just kind of like trying to figure out how to use the network. So they're just kind of pressing in buttons, and they don't want to like ask anybody else, is this right? So I'm not sure if those are 100% correct. I think I'm one of the best putters out there.
All right, so taking a look at the head-to-head matchup here, we've got Stat Mando. Nikko, you're 25-10-2 against Gavin. Gavin, what are you going to have to do to change that tomorrow?
Definitely going to have to keep it in bounds out here. Maybe get in his head a little bit, take out a timer every now and again. Like I said, it's pretty easy to get him off track. And I need to putt well. That's always been my issue. It always comes down to the putting green. I'm usually throwing it pretty good.
Yeah, you've had some incredible performances this year. Looking back on the regular season, what were some of your highlights?
The vintage.
Well, opening the year at Waco, that surprised myself, making it on lead card there. First round, me and Gannon were playing together. I didn't even feel like I was playing that well, and then at the end of the day, I think it was like a couple strokes that I had the whole field by. So that gave me a lot of confidence to start the year. And then the Des Moines Challenge, it was a tournament that I felt like I was really there for the win the whole time.
Yeah, and looking back at Waco, it did look like you could have won that tournament. And then, Nikko, you actually ended up taking that one down. What did that victory mean for you?
I mean, it felt really amazing at the time, but just looking back on that, it was an amazing feeling. It was a great weekend. I said before it felt like a staple in my disc golf career, but I'm looking into the future. You know, I got this weekend here coming up. It's, I'd say, just as big of a tournament in its own way. Maybe it has a different type of media presence, and we're on a big stage with the world's best players right now, and I feel like everybody that's competing in this particular event has earned a position and earned their right to be here. So I think it feels good just to know that we've all worked hard to be in this position right now.
And Nikko, outside of a world title, you've won almost every event you can win. What are your disc golf goals moving forward?
Well, of course, I always want to, eventually take down the world championships. That's in the back of my mind. But just continue to put myself in position to win tournaments and increase my skills. And I think I could push forward mentally and physically still at this level in my life. I turned 33 years old today. Happened to be my birthday, and I feel like there's a lot of room to grow still. And
Today's your birthday?
Yeah, today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. So I feel like I'm in a good position in my disc golf career to advance my skills and hopefully inspire some people around my same age that you can get out there and compete with the best players in the world as long as you push yourself and work hard for it.
We've got a $10,000 purse this weekend. Gavin, Who's taking this match down and advancing?
I'm going to win, for sure. No doubt about it.
He's got 0 chance.
Can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to turn into a wrestling match at the end regardless.
You want after this?
I can't play anymore right now.
Best of luck to both of you. We'll see you on the live broadcast tomorrow.
Thanks, Nate.
All right. Thanks, Nate. That's it.
Next matchup of the day, Ricky Wysocki, Emerson Keith. Emerson, what do you have to say about this man on your right?
I mean, he's just kind of your average person, not really that good at disc golf. He's just okay. He misses a bunch of putts out there, I've heard. So, no, I'm just kidding. Rick's one of my best friends out here on tour. We hang out all the time, and I'm really excited to be matched up against him for the first round.
Ricky, what do you have to say about Emerson Keith?
Well, yeah, like you said, we're good friends on tour and everything. So, I'm glad he got here early, got some practice rounds, got to see the course because he's just going to go one and done. So I'm gonna beat him. At least I'll get one competitive round out here. Only 12 holes, unfortunately. Maybe I'll give him 8 or 9 holes to see 9 holes of the course. But other than that, we'll see him next week at the Nashville NT.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think you got a lot of confidence, and you're going to be crushed by the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, you just got to hype myself up, and that's kind of hype I need. I like putting pressure on myself, and then executing it on when it matters.
Well, all the pressure's on you. I really wasn't even supposed to make this. I missed it by 1 spot, and someone dropped out, and I got in. So
yeah, it's got to be a weird feeling coming here by default, not even earning your spot in here. That's got to be a little weird. Just
it default.
Someone dropped, and he just happened to fall and happened to get in.
It is a little weird, but I feel like I came here to ruin your week.
Yeah, I guess if that's what you got to tell yourself to have a chance, I guess that's all. That's what matters.
Your last matchup takes me back to Utah. Actually, the warm-up tournament where Emerson, you won one of the biggest tournaments of the year for you.
Yeah, that was against my boy Rick here. I did come out on top the last time we went head-to-head with each other, so.
Yeah, I guess 1 for 65 isn't too bad. That's not too bad of a record. Head-to-head matchup. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No.
You're getting old. You might be tired by tomorrow. Played too many practice rounds.
Yeah, you're right. No, he played solid. Emerson's got game. It'll be a good match for sure. He can bomb. We can both throw far enough to score out here. This course is awesome. I think you'll be able to showcase all our skills, rollers, air shots. If it gets a little windy, you have to. Some of these hilly greens will make for some 3-putt opportunities and long putts made to win some holes. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, lots of throw-in opportunities too.
Yeah. So Rick, you weren't too far off. It's actually 43-9-1 that you have over Emerson head-to-head.
See, I had a feeling. I was just got a mental stat.
Oh my gosh, who pulled that stat up?
That's Statmando.
Oh,
thanks, Statmando, for validating my story there. That was awesome. Just kidding.
All right, so Rick,
add 2, add 1, make it 2.
Rick, congratulations on winning the points title. this year. What does that mean for you?
I mean, it's something, playing a whole season, you gauge someone's play. Obviously, week in and week out, you want to play well and give yourself a chance to win. But by the end of the year, you look back and you say, oh, 2021 was a great year. I won the points. I was consistent in every event. I got top 5 in a ton of events, winning or even getting second place in a lot of them. So this day and age, it's hard to win every tournament. So when you don't win, if you can get a top 5 finish and be consistent, that means something for sure. And so the fact that I did that week in and week out is, I'll look back 5 or 10 years from now and say, I earned the points title based on my consistency.
Yeah, Rick, time and time again, you seem to be the guy that you have to beat if you want to win out here on the tour. I mean, going back to Connor's win at Delaware, he had to beat you. Going back to Maple Hill, you were the guy on 18. And again, last week at Green Mountain, you made Chris earn it. How do you stay so hungry out here?
Yeah, I think that every sport has a shift every 5 to 10 years where you see new athletes, new players coming in, and I feel like it's kind of happening in disc golf right now, and I'm right there still. It was the me and Paul era, and it's kind of he's still there, but it's kind of shifted me and Eagle and Kyle, young kids, but I'm always in the picture, and so there's kind of a shift going on, and I'm still in that shift, and you got to work hard to keep up with the shift in any sport that you have, basketball, baseball, football, disc golf. There's always a shift, and if you can keep up with that, you're gonna play well, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm happy that I'm putting myself in contention every tournament, keeping up with the shift.
Emerson, what aspect of Ricky's game do you think allows him to stay successful on tour?
I think just his drive to win. He's just cutthroat, doesn't care what happens. He just wants to win, and he's been doing that for so long. He's gotten comfortable and he trusts his game a ton. I don't think I've ever watched Ricky throw an uncomfortable shot. Even if it was a weird angle or something, he looks confident while he's doing it, and I think a lot of us players can take note from that, where we could work on that to get to Ricky's point. But his confidence is what keeps him up there week in and week out.
And what aspect of his game do you think that you have an advantage over him on?
I think he could throw OB a lot out here. I'll just keep it at least 60 feet short of him, and then he'll just throw it OB, and I'll just lay up, and he'll have to run a 200-footer and miss it, and then I'll just tap in.
Sounds good on paper. Yeah, you're right.
Rick, what aspect of Emerson's game impresses you the most?
He throws, he's from Texas, so it's windy out there in Texas a lot. So if it gets windy out here, he knows how to manage the wind, and he's a spin putter, so he can fight through and get the spin on the putter to fight through the wind. He's a well-rounded player too, and he complimented me a lot. But he's a good player himself. Like I said, he won on the World's Track Utah Open this year, so he knows what it takes to win. He definitely has all the skill set. So he's not a gimme matchup. He got in for a reason. I mean, he's put himself in contention for the points to qualify, and he's here, so that's all that matters. He's here, so now he's got to work with what he's got. And disc golf is a weekly sport. You got to come in every week and show what you got. And even if you're in a slump or not playing well, you can break it at any time. And Emerson's a breakout player that can play well at any week.
So how are you changing your strategy for a course like the Steel Club, with it being match play versus stroke play?
I mean, like Emerson said, there's a lot of OB, so it's going to actually dictate a lot on what the first player does. If the first player throws OB on say hole 1, it's basically an automatic 5. If you go into the drop zone, you're not reaching it from the drop zone. So if someone goes OB on hole 1, it's just going to be a play for par type of hole because the player A is getting a bogey, and if you just play for a par, you're going to win the hole. So I think playing second is going to be actually an advantage on some holes. Seeing what the player does, goes OB, and then you can kind of make a game plan from there. But being first, you kind of have to be aggressive to put the pressure on the second player. So match play dynamic's fun, and based on which order you tee off can totally change how you attack a hole.
Emerson, what are you going to have to do to beat one of the strongest competitors here at this event?
I think I'm going to have to keep it in bounds. Like Rick said, it's really important. If you're first, keep it in bounds, and then really take advantage of all the reachable par 3s out here. I mean, they're really long, and the disc is in the air for a long time with all the elevation out here. So there's a lot that could happen. But if you put one close, then, I mean, there's hills, all sorts of things could happen. So just taking advantage of the holes that I am capable of getting with no problem. Just take advantage of that, really focus on getting it close and putting pressure on Ricky.
Cool. We've got a $10,000 purse for this weekend's champion. Rick, who's taking it down?
I mean, it's going to be one match at a time, but in the end, I think I'm going to take it for sure.
Hey, you got to get past me, but if you get past me, I hope you take it down.
I like it.
All right, guys, thanks for the interview. We'll see you on the live broadcast tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next matchup of the day, James Conrad versus Joel Freeman. Joel, what do you have to say about this man here on your right?
Oh, you know, he's James Conrad. Everybody loves James Conrad. Thing is, tomorrow, I don't know, there's not going to be a lot of love for him, I don't think.
James, what do you have to say about Joel Freeman?
Joel, I just look forward to the match. I think it should be a good one.
Joel, what aspect of James's game allows him to stay competitive all year long?
Three-part answer. I think he's got a lot of motivation. He's got the drive, no pun intended. He's got angles, and he's got the right aggressive mentality, especially on the green. And so you see him connect from long range, which makes not only for some good scoring situations, but also just some crowd pleasing moments. He makes it fun for himself and everybody watching. So.
And James, what aspect of Joel's game impresses you the most?
I'm always impressed playing with Joel, just the variety of shots he seems to feel comfortable throwing, like little touchy forehands, touchy backhands, powerful on both sides. It seems like he's pretty much got all the shots that you need, and he always looks comfortable throwing them.
Joel, what is it about the Disc Golf Pro Tour that brought you back out here for another trip around the States?
It's a bunch of things, you know. I think a lot of people know the word is out that the disc golf community is really special. It's a really special group of people. And so there are some amazing relationships that get formed over time. I felt like it was an important season of my life that I wanted to invite my wife out here with me, and for her to see this part of who I am, it was important. And then the last thing I would say is just the competition. I just love the competition, the feel of tournament day, or when things are clicking and you feel like you can't miss. Those kinds of moments are just something that you can't buy, you know.
And once again, you've shown that you're one of the more consistent players out there. You didn't miss cash all year long. But for you, what were some of your biggest takeaways from the regular season?
I mean, again, the relationships and having my wife out here with me, as far as like numbers, stats, tournaments. I had, 3 good ones recently that come to mind: MVP, Delaware, and Idlewild. Those were all tournaments where I feel like I gave myself a shot at winning, which I feel like is at the bare minimum, like what all the guys here this weekend want to do at a bare minimum week to week. So,
James, what are some of your takeaways from the regular season?
This has been a crazy season. Obviously, Worlds was like kind of standing all by itself. On top of that, it's just such an amazing experience, and to not only have myself in the mix the whole week and to kind of grind out the 5-round tournament, but then to have such a spectacular finish. I feel like it's something that's been honestly like hard to even come close to living up to since then, and my play's been a little less consistent the last few weeks, but I've just been trying to take everything in stride. Golf's kind of a little bit cyclic. Like, you can kind of get hot and then things get a little tougher, and it doesn't feel like you're doing anything different necessarily, but it's just that consistency, just finding the focus every single time you step up to throw to execute the best shot you can. So it's a constant learning experience, trying to get better at these kind of things, and I feel like this has been a good season for me for that.
Joel, how are you feeling about the course itself this weekend?
It's repetitive. It's a little monotonous. A lot of big shots. It's taking a toll on the body. Just practice rounds. Just blasting shots over and over and over again. I think whoever's got those angles right out of the hand, is gonna do well for themselves.
Who's got the distance advantage between you two, Joel?
In a practice round, James got it. In a tournament round, I don't know. I feel like we're
pretty even.
Pretty darn even, yeah. I feel like right in that.
I guess we'll see tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I guess we will, yeah.
So, James, I know that you have a little bit of match play experience, having competed at the VTI that Chris actually spoke about for many years. Joel, do you have any match play experience?
No. I mean, I've been a spectator in the crowd of one match play, event, if you will, ever. That's it.
Have you been thinking about your strategy, if you might switch things up out there?
Definitely. I mean, it's going to be a case-by-case basis, who can stay inside the lines, and, it has everything to do with context. And, when the moment comes, I'm going to know how to hit the gas pedal.
Nice.
James, how are you approaching this brand new Disc Golf Pro Tour event?
I'm trying to approach it just with excitement. I've heard some people not being the most excited about the course we're playing or this and that, and I agree, it might not be the most fun course to practice, but I think when it comes down to each match, I think it'll make for some really interesting golf, and it's a unique format, and we're all getting paid just for making it into the tournament. We're cashing basically, so it's just a good opportunity to go out there and try to have fun and try to show off what we can do on a big, challenging course.
And James, what is it about the lifestyle on the Disc Golf Pro Tour that brings you back out year in and year out?
It's not just one factor about it. Obviously, the reason we're all traveling is to compete in disc golf, and that's kind of the backbone of it. But yeah, just getting to explore the entire country and even beyond, a chance to go overseas, and having our little home, our vans on the road with us, it just makes it so comfortable and easy to just stay on the road and to be traveling. And we have such a great little community of friends, like our family, basically our tour family, and all that. Just, it's work, but it's also just so much fun to get to experience life in this way.
So we've got a $10,000 first place prize. Joel, who's taking this match down?
We're gonna see what happens tomorrow. Again, I think whoever's hitting their angles right out of the hand. I think James and I are gonna put on a great show just because it's gonna be whoever shows up tomorrow.
James, how you feeling about the match tomorrow?
I'm feeling good. I think that match play is a unique beast, you know. I'm going to try to go out there and maybe hit a big putt early, get in Joel's head a little bit, and just coast from there. We'll see.
Guys, thanks for the interview. Good luck, and we'll see you on the live broadcast tomorrow.
Thanks, Nate.
Next matchup of the day, Deann Carey versus Paige Pierce. Deann, what are your thoughts going into this this brand new Pro Tour event?
I'm really just excited to be here, and whatever happens tomorrow, I'm just gonna, or Saturday. I'm just gonna have fun and take whatever as a learning experience.
Paige, what are your thoughts on the format for this weekend?
I think it's really exciting. I think that, you know, the viewers, they haven't seen anything like this since the Disc Golf Network was created just a couple years ago. We've never had a match play, so I think it's going to be really exciting for the viewers. You know, you're going to see some players 200 feet away from the basket with their opponent under it, so you're going to see players running that shot, and that's something you never see in tournament play. So I hope it's going to be a really exciting show.
Deann, how does it feel being matched up against one of the greatest disc golfers of all time?
A little intimidating, but I know if I go out there and just play my best and do what I can do and not try to push anything, I can make a push.
What aspect of Paige's disc golf game has allowed her to find the success that she has over the years?
Everything. She just has dialed everything down to one little ball of like perfection.
If you could pick one shot from her bag to have in your bag, what would it be?
That's really tough because there's two. Her sidearm for one, and then her circle two putting. I give myself so many circle two looks.
All right. Maybe I should have more confidence in my sidearm then. All right.
Well,
sounds like
from someone who doesn't have one.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the course, Deann?
It's long. There's a lot of OB, and I just have to keep it in the middle and be on my putting, and it should be fun.
Paige, how's practice going for you out there?
Yeah, it's very long and lots of OB. I think, you know, I'm consistently the #1 ranked OB thrower in my division, so that's going to be my obstacle this week. Just keep it in bounds, and you know, I think that my distance is going to provide me a lot of opportunities this week. I think that I'll be in a good position in this match, but also if I move forward, I think, being the longest thrower in the division, I will be in a good position where my opponent will have to throw first, and then if they go B, I can play conservatively. So that's kind of my game plan off the tee, is just rip it as far as I possibly can and see what my competitor does and then take it from there.
Having wrapped up the regular season last week, Deann, you had your breakout win this year at the Resistance Disc Open. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
It was great. I think 2 or 3 tournaments before that, I completely rechanged my form, started working on it, and I was like, something has to happen if we're going to be playing all these long courses. I have to get throwing further, have to get more confidence, and I did that at OTB, and then after Portland, I made it on chase card every single round, and I was feeling really good. And then going into it, I was like, well, I have a really good chance at winning this. And that's really all I said to myself for the week up until that there was no way I wasn't going to win that tournament.
Confidence can be everything, right? Are you bringing some confidence into your matchup with Paige tomorrow on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I've been trying to manifest all the good vibes as much as I can.
All right, so taking a look at the matchup, you've actually never beaten Paige in a tournament before. What are you going to have to do on Saturday to change that?
Like Paige said, keep it in bounds mainly, and then just run everything and hopefully make it. The main thing is just stay in bounds out here because there is a lot of OB.
Paige, it's been a long regular season. What are some of your takeaways from your season?
I think I was just sitting here for Ricky's interview, and he said something about that every week is a reset, and you can be in a slump, and every week is a new chance to break out of that slump. So whether I'm in a slump now or I was in a slump 2 months ago, it doesn't matter. Every tournament is a restart, and I think that just because Deann has never beat me doesn't mean Saturday is not possible. I think that something that I see in Deann that I don't really see in a lot of other competitors is her persistence. She's out every time I get to the course, her van's already there, and when I leave, her van's still there. So that's something that I think, is going to propel her to success, whether that be on Saturday or whether that be a year from now. If she keeps that up, she's absolutely going to be a Pro Tour champion and maybe a world champion one day.
So this late in the season, is there any aspect of your game that you are changing or working on?
Not quite right now in the season. I have 3 events left, actually 4. I just signed up for the Music City Open. So I am taking notes of what I need to work on. Every single tournament, when I give a stroke away to the course, I kind of take a mental note of, oh, wow, I didn't feel confident on that shot, so I need to work on that. So I got, 5 or 6 things written down that I need to work on, but as of right now, it's just kind of maintaining, getting through the last part of the season and trying to put on a show for the fans.
Cool. Any other comments that you'd like to add about the season or the new format itself?
Not that I can really think of.
Thank you guys for the interview, and we'll see you on the live broadcast on Saturday.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. I keep thinking we don't play.
Next matchup of the day, Sarah Hokom versus Jessica Weese. Sarah, what do you have to say about this woman on your right?
I mean, the Disc Princess? I mean, she's talented. She's a great player. She's got a ton of little tricks in her bag. So, yeah, it's going to be a battle.
What aspect of Jessica's game impresses you the most?
The number of shots that she has, for sure. She can throw backhand, sidearm, and lefty, and she has multiple kinds of putts to deal with different conditions. And she throws a sonic like a genius.
And what aspect of her game do you think that you might have an advantage on?
I'm the queen of clean, man. So I figure I'm going to get a lot of pars. And she's going to have to not bogey.
Jessica, what do you have to say about the woman on your left?
I would say that is definitely correct. You are definitely a clean player. I know Sarah's always going to play the conservative shot, and sometimes I just got to know when to take advantage and when to, just play conservative. So I'm looking forward to it. I know she's going to play that even game, and seems like it's a little bit windy out there, so I'm looking forward to maybe not the sonic shot, but I've been throwing my pig pretty well lately. And, I've been really working on my sidearm approaches, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, so what aspect of Sarah's game impresses you the most?
I would say that she's very consistent with the sidearm. She can manipulate it to where even if it's a backhand shot, she's got no problem lacing a sidearm up there and executing it just like if anyone were to throw a backhand shot. And it doesn't really matter if you think it's a backhand shot or if you think it's a sidearm shot, because, this girl, she can pretty much make everything happen. So I'm looking forward to the battle out there. I know we both have great sidearms, so it'll be exciting to watch.
This is the sidearm matchup, for sure. It's going to be great. And Jessica, what aspect do you think that Sarah could improve on?
I feel like I would say putting and up shots, I feel like is, most everybody's kind of weak point, I feel like. So I feel like no matter who you are, Sarah's not the only person that struggles with putting. I know everybody has their days, and
I'm going to vehemently disagree with you there, Jessica. I put the biscuit under the basket. Man, I don't even have to putt. I think last weekend I only had to putt 3 times in one of the rounds. So I hear you, but I think you might have me mistaken for someone else.
I think the up shots are definitely going to be key out here this weekend.
Distance as well, it looks like.
Oh,
Sarah,
for sure.
How are you feeling about your skill set?
I think this course is super righty. All you lefties out there, it's not just a figment of your imagination. There are certainly courses designed that favor one throw versus another, and this is definitely one of them.
Jessica, are we going to be seeing some big backhands and some big forehands out of you? Do you feel like you've got an advantage over Sarah?
Well, I know I probably won't be busting out the lefty because there's not very many big bushes to get into, and usually that's the only time I usually use the lefty anymore, unfortunately. But I have a strong backhand and sidearm game, so I feel like there's no real need for me to bust that out.
How many sidearms are you actually throwing off the tee out here?
That's a very good question. I feel like most of my sidearms are going to be on the approach game, not off of the drive.
Guess how many backhands I'm going to throw?
Ooh. Well, there's only 12 holes out here, so that is going to be different. I would say maybe 5.
Are we talking about tee shots? We're talking about tee shots.
Tee shots.
Tee shots,
Yeah.
5? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you think I'm going to throw half the course backhand?
I mean, you never know.
Man, she has more faith in my backhand than I do. She's like, I dare you.
It's a challenge.
You're just trying to mess with me right now, aren't you? I see you.
Sarah, how fresh is the Green Mountain Championship on your mind?
it's there, but I've tried to focus on the positives and then leave the rest of it to a lesson that I have learned already.
Yeah, what are some positives that you can take from that hot final round?
I had a lot of really good putting strokes. Even if I wasn't making them, they were really really good. There was a good finish, and it was good. Just it felt really solid. So I think definitely my putting came together there, and in general, just my shots were flowing well. My angle control was on. I was hitting my trajectory. So yeah.
Outside of Green Mountain, what are some of your highlights from the regular season?
Gosh, I think I played pretty good at Idlewild. That was certainly a highlight. An early win at the Vintage, which kind of played on a course a lot like this. A lot of holes are out of reach, and I'm playing for par. And my counterparts are going to try to get birdies, and maybe they won't, maybe they will. So yeah, I think those two for sure.
So you've been out here on the road over a decade. What is it about the Disc Golf Pro Tour that keeps you coming back for more?
I mean, the ever-changing courses, the ever-changing environment, the increase in popularity of the sport, the fact that I still can't do certain things and I need to learn how to do them. Just the constant challenge of the game itself.
Jessica, who's taking this match down on Saturday?
I mean, obviously, I think I'm going to take it down, but we'll see. It's going to be a great battle. I know between the two of us, it's going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes for sure.
Disc Princess versus the Queen of Clean. I don't know. Can the Princess keep up? I heard all the birdies went south for the winner. Oh, I'm just going to have a barbecue out there.
You know what they say, off with their heads. So let's just say I'm looking forward to going out there, slinging some big sidearm upshots, some huge backhands. So I know it's going to be a great battle.
We're going to have fun.
Well, cool. Thank you both for the interview. We'll see you on the live broadcast on Saturday.
Sounds good.
All right, and for our next matchup, Kona Panis, Missy Gannon. Missy, what do you have to say about this woman right here?
Hold on, it's really hot in here.
I love it. Stop. Okay, I'm sorry, what was the question?
What do you have to say about this woman on your right?
Well, I mean, she's super nice, and she's a great athlete. We're basically all getting paid this week, so it's a win for her that she'll leave with some money this weekend. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be great.
So she's going to leave with some money, being the money for the first match because she's not moving on. Is that what you're telling me, Missy?
I mean,
she's trying to
take
say.
it how you will.
Kona, what do you have to say about Missy Gannon?
I'd like to say that Missy has a farther drive than me on this course, but I think I got her. So we'll see who gets the CTP on most of the drives, but I have a feeling that'll be me.
Yeah,
But
airball putting, it doesn't really work out here, though.
my heart, Missy, hurting all my feelings. Yeah, I will say Missy is no Miss Missy. She's a killer. I was looking at her stats when DGPT put out the cool stats of, like, you know, her and I comparing. And, you know, she is high up in the ranks on both Circle 1 and Circle 2. So I've always been very envious of her putt. She's always just had a consistent putt, never really has to change it. So I've been in between, you know, all season. I feel like I've been trying to find the one that's good for me. So if anything, she'll get me on the green.
What putt are you rocking this weekend, Kona?
It's like a stagger stance. What does Zoe call it? A track
track stance,
stance.
yeah.
Track stance putt. I tried to mimic it off of a little bit of Chris Dickerson with the legs, and then a little bit of up and over like Colten, but it's obviously my own. More of a spin putt, but hopefully, I'm hoping they all go in this week with Missy with this freaking confidence right now.
You guys both had some really big wins for your career. Kona
Yeah.
with Waco.
Leave me hanging. Cool.
Kona, can you talk about what the win at the Waco Elite Series event meant for you?
It meant a lot, and not only because it was a 12-stroke deficit that was just insane, but you know, I've been on the road for a while now. I hadn't really won anything even close to that big, and it was the putt. You know, they were going in. I wasn't airballing back then often, so you know, it made the confidence, you know, get huge, and you know, I hope to get another one soon or get ready for next season and hopefully take it down.
And Missy, can you talk to us a little bit about your Elite Series win at Des Moines? What did that mean for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It's something that I knew was possible, and you know, coming up short a bunch of other times before, finally being able to get it done, and you know, that was when Kristen was here as well. So to really, you know, have a pretty much full field to compete against and take it down was something I'll never forget.
And where do you feel like you have the biggest advantage over Kona here at the Steel Club?
Yeah, I mean, stats don't lie. It definitely is on the green. I think that there's a lot of tricky greens here, elevated baskets, OB right behind, so having the confidence to at least, you know, hit the basket in some capacity, hopefully center chains, is going to really come big into play here. And I mean, like she said, she's not wrong. She has me totally on the distance, so both of those are going to be an advantage out here, and hopefully, you know, if I could just keep it in bounds and make big putts, I should do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Kona, where do you feel like you have an advantage over Missy at this course?
You know, definitely the drives. I've been throwing so far lately. My form is just feeling really good. I'm getting some extra shoulder rotation, and it's been nice to actually open up some drives out here. We've been in the woods, and I've really actually been enjoying the woods and hitting lines. So to kind of come out here and open up and be able to crush has been very, just so nice. But definitely on the drives, for me, it's going to be staying in bounds. But there's a few holes that the DGPT actually changed in the last few days. Like hole 4, we actually have a way to get to to our basket. So I'm looking to get that birdie on 4, hopefully just park it so I don't have to putt. And then there's a few other holes that I think are more attackable for myself.
Yeah, what does it mean that the Pro Tour is able to take feedback like that so quick from the players and make changes?
Oh, I love it, especially as an FPO player. We don't throw as far as the men, and when I personally showed up to the course, I was like, dang, like a lot of these holes are pretty long, and I felt like within a day or two we gave that feedback to Jeff, and he was out here with I'm assuming Steve Braud, our course designer from Discmania, and they went through all the holes and figured out what needed to be changed, and I'm loving the changes they did.
Do you feel like you are changing your strategy at all with it being match play versus stroke play, Kona?
For sure. If Missy's going out of bounds or something, I'm playing safe or, laying up if I have to. It's a different. I've never really played match play. I don't know about you. So
I have.
You have? Oh, dang it. Okay, she has a one-up on me on the match play. So, for me, it's going to be, getting the drives out there, but staying safe and just watching and seeing what she's doing as well.
Missy, what kind of match play experience do you have?
Yeah, I mean, not at like a huge, high level, but I did play sort of like an off-season league that was competitive, and one round was match play, and then it would go to stroke play after that. So, I definitely know what it feels like, and it's been a while, so it's really hard to kind of get out of that stroke play mentality since that's all we do all year. So just remembering, even though I want to make this 35-footer, if I don't have to, then I should probably not. So just keeping those things in mind, trying to keep my ego in check and play, how I need to play.
Any other takeaways from the long regular season, Kona?
The Disc Golf Pro Tour did a great job. I felt like all the tournaments were ran super smooth. I didn't have a lot of bad feedback, and I feel like the payout for the FPO has grown insane, and I feel like we're making more of a career nowadays. I've talked to some pros who kind of haven't been playing for a while, and they're like, gosh, you're so lucky. Back in my day when I wanted to go on the road, there was no way. And so it's really cool that we're able as, female women to come out and do disc golf as like a living.
Missy, anything else you'd like to add for us?
I'm just so thankful for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and like I said, we're just basically getting paid to be here. So we've earned our spot, and now we get to kind of showcase why we are here and have some fun too. So it's going to be a really fun event, and like a nice little wrap up to the season.
Well, I'm really excited about your match. We will see you on the live broadcast on Saturday. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you. I wish I had a vinyl cutter. I'd bring my own shirt on the first day.
All right, guys, we are here with tour director Jeff Spring and match play tournament director and course designer Steve Braud. Steve, this is a premier golf course. What does it mean to you that you set up a disc golf course here and that we're here playing this event?
Sure, it's pretty surreal when I'm here now and this is all happening. It's something that's been a dream for a long time to be able to have disc golf at a venue like this, and between the amenities and the club and the golf itself. And I'm a golfer, so Donald Ross designed this course in the 1940s, and so it means a lot just to be out here on something that's kind of iconic in the golf industry. So it feels really good. It's not that it's been a long time coming. It kind of felt like it came up pretty quick, but it's we're excited. We're excited to do something like this at a kind of a unique venue. So.
And Jeff, can you talk to us a little bit about where the match play idea stemmed from and how it came into reality?
Well, we've wanted to have a mid-season championship for the last few years, really since 2019, since the new management team took over the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and match play has always been at the top of that list. This isn't mid-season, it's really right at the tail end of the season, and so ideally we're going to move this back into the season a little bit more. But there's a lot of sports leagues that look to create that type of large event or a championship mid-season or throughout the season. The English Premier League has, championships or cups that they compete for. So I think that ideally, this is just something mid-season that players can strive to get points for, qualify for, and we can put a big purse and a prestigious event together. This has fallen at the end of the year, but before maybe a run of finales, so to speak. And match play is just a wonderful golf format that has a rich history in traditional golf, and I think it's going to be really fun for disc golf fans to see it happen at this level this week.
Yeah, can you talk to us a little bit about what the broadcast format is going to look like? I've heard that we are going to actually be able to see every match this week.
Every match live. We have Gatekeeper and GK doing some delayed coverage. Gatekeeper will do some next day, some delayed coverage into the next week, actually. GK is going to turn the FPO matches next day, and the Disc Golf Network will show every match live. The format is going to be 10 a.m. and 10:30 for the first matches, 2:30 and 3 for the second matches every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you can set your calendars, set your reminders. We have a How to Watch post up on social if people want to dig in there. But we're going to have foursomes, so 2 matches per card at 10, 2 matches per card at 10:30, and then subsequently the afternoon session, so a morning and an afternoon session being 2:30 and 3. It's going to be fun. I think the players are going to take it very seriously, but at the same time have a lot of fun. So, and we saw that a little bit throughout the press conferences here. I think the live broadcast, it's new for us, so we'll see how that goes. But I know that the Disc Golf Network team, the camera ops, and everybody on site is really excited to show all the shots of everybody competing, and really kind of highlight the new format that's not stroke play.
And Steve, knowing that going into the course design, you knew that you were designing a course for the top 16 men and the top 8 women in the world. How did that alter the way that you designed these 12 holes?
I mean, there was no doubt about that. I knew that I wanted to test them. These are our top competitors in the world on both the men's and the women's side. And I think that there was a few things, looking back at it now and going back through the course with Jeff, that we definitely needed to make some concessions and some changes to it. And I'm happy to oblige. I want these guys to not only compete out here and to have to throw exciting shots, but I also want them to have fun. Okay, and if you're setting up a course that's not that fun, then we needed to make some adjustments for these guys. And I think that we made the proper adjustments. Next year, we'll a little bit more thought and detail into the layout of the course, or whatever we need to change or morph. We can do that, but the ultimate goal was to test the top players in our game. and to give them a really exciting and fun weekend. So being the inaugural year, we want to make sure that it's a good experience for everybody. So whatever we can do to appease the players and the fans and media and everybody, that's what we're going to do.
So this is Discmania's first time being the premier sponsor at an Elite Series event. Can you talk about the role that you played in that and how special it is to see the Shield as the premier sponsor?
Sure. I've been with Discmania now going on my 4th year, and I'm I work in sales with Dana and as a development manager for sales and bringing in new business and new opportunities. This is the Disc Golf Pro Tour and Discmania developed a relationship this year, not only for the tour itself too, so you started to see some advertising out there and we've started to get involved with the tour, but we were ready to make a leap. We wanted to put ourselves in an elite event with the Pro Tour, and yeah, we hope to continue that. I think that Discmania has made that leap here in the United States. Obviously, in Europe, it's been an emphasis to run the best events we can in Europe, and we hope that this partnership will lead to some big things between the Pro Tour and Discmania.
All right, so Steve, the course, the final changes have been made to the course. You've seen players out there practicing. Who's taking it down?
Well, I mean, I'm rooting for Eagle, but Colten's no sleeper. Like he could up, he certainly has distance. I'm watching Colten practice out there, and I'd be a bit nervous if I was Eagle right now. He's definitely got sneaky distance, and he's good. But I like Kevin Jones's chances too out here. I think that he gets aggressive, and he gets aggressive at the right time, and that could definitely benefit him as well. So,
and Jeff, same question for you. Who's your favorite for this match play championship?
I'm not going to make any predictions on that. I think that there is an advantage on several holes for the big arms, but there are a lot of tricky greens close to OB. So you need to have a soft touch and control coming in to the putting area. And I think that really we could see a lot of upsets. It really, just like any week on the Pro Tour, it depends who shows up with their A game. And, this year more than ever before with so many events, players are learning to prepare in a manner in which they can have their A game every week. And you just see that it's really hard to do that every week. Week after week, it really will depend on, how the course suits their game. But I think even more so, are they hitting their angles? Are they tuned in with their full swing? Is their putt, true? And those are the big things. And I can't say that I know exactly who's dialed in perfectly this week, other than looking at the results last week and thinking some of that could carry over.
Very cool. Well, I'm thankful for the Disc Golf Pro Tour and to you, Steve, and Discmania for making this event happen. All the viewers out there, I know that we're all really excited to see this brand new event go down. So thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, Nate. Yep.
And for our next matchup, we have Catrina Allen versus Hailey King. Guys, welcome to the Match Play Championship. Catrina, what are your thoughts on this new format?
I like match play. I played in the old Players Cup match play or whatever in Texas in like 2012 and won. I have experience playing in like the team tournament in San Diego. Been on the President's Cup team every year that it was a thing since I started playing. So I love match play. It'll be fun.
Hailey, do you have any match play experience?
I've only played a couple match play events. I think technically the Pro Tour Championships last year, and then once in like 2016 or something.
Have you been thinking about how you might adjust your strategy heading into this matchup, Hailey?
I mean, instead of playing the whole round, now it's just do whatever you can to win the hole, so it's a big change up.
Catrina, have you thought much about the strategy with it just being 12 holes?
No. I've played all kinds of different match plays where it's 18 holes, it's 9 holes, and then you switch partners, and 6 holes, and more. But no, I think it's really just getting to know the course, get a feel for it, kind of like Hailey said. You definitely want to have a game plan, especially have the box. You want to feel confident, but also, I kind of was hearing Missy, like if someone throws it out of bounds and you're putting for birdie and they missed for bogey, you just put it under the basket and move on. So it will be different, but that can also mean like someone's parked and you're 60 feet on an elevated basket with OB and you might be thinking about running it because they're, touching the pole. So it could bring some excitement as well.
Yeah. So what aspect about your competitor's game do you think allows her to find success on the tour?
That is a great question. I'm someone who, like you guys have heard over week after week after week, although I don't want to, I'm not being disrespectful, but I just keep my head down and focus on my game, because in past years, if I'm like, oh, this is a sidearm course and Sarah Hokom's so good, and I get all nervous about that, then I find myself in panic mode instead of worrying. So obviously Hailey has wins this year and has a solid game all around. So yeah, she's got all the shots.
What aspect do you think that she might be able to improve on?
I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought too much of it. Like I said, I pride myself in just worrying about myself. So yeah. I feel like unless someone were to come up to me and ask me for help, I'd kind of mind my own business.
And Hailey, what aspect of Catrina's game has allowed her to compete at the top for so long?
I mean, she has all the skills as well, so it's just like, her time in the game and her consistently pays off.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feeling pretty good about the matchup, Hailey?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Is there anything that you feel like you might be able to share from your game that would improve Catrina's?
I mean, you're the world champion here. I don't know. I can't say anything.
And speaking of world titles, Catrina, you won your second world title this year. What does that second title mean for you?
Someone said to me after that it's the first real world title, and I thought that was kind of different. And not just mine, but in the sport in general, that was probably one of the first events that felt like a world championship. 70 women in our division, all of the cameras, all of the coverage, 2 different style courses, 5 rounds, more spectators than we've ever seen. And not saying that my first world championship didn't mean anything or any other person's before that, but just maybe the first world championship of like the next era of disc golf with payout and all of the social media being a huge part of it, and how many people tuned in, and the outside sponsors and stuff like that. So, but I mean, as someone who prides himself in probably being the hardest worker, not just women and men, but on tour, it meant a lot. And, there's mornings when my alarm goes off and I don't want to get up, and I do because I know that for me, that helps me stay consistent and be successful. And all those mornings and all the sacrifices paid off, and so that really, really means a lot,
So you've won every event that there is to win out there. What is it that keeps you waking up and where's the drive coming from?
It probably comes from a few things. I'm the most competitive person in the world, so I want to win every weekend, and I know the things I personally have to do to win, and starting my day off, like I said, at the gym, and having a game plan and being prepared and always trying to fix things in my game, and just really like trying to set the precedent for the women behind me, that not to cut corners and not to, to show up, get prepared, work hard, and feel and look like an athlete. Not be tired at the end of your round, not be hungover for a round. I just want to inspire people, to do things like that.
So last week, Hailey, you shot the second highest rated round by a female all time in the third round at GMC. Went on to win that event. Can you talk about what that means for you in your career?
It's really cool, especially with my highest, or 10:44 was my highest earlier at US Women's, so breaking that is just really cool, just pushing myself even further. I don't know, it's pretty crazy that I'm 19 years old and I did that. I didn't think it would ever happen, so it's really cool.
What are you taking into this event from last weekend's win?
Just got to keep my head high and just keep pushing.
All right, so we've got a $10,000 first place prize. Hailey, who's winning this first match on Saturday?
I don't know. Kat's got a great roller game, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Catrina, how do you feel about the match?
You guys know me. It's a good game plan. Try to play my best golf that day. Like I said, I do a lot of things to try to play at a high level every weekend, and as long as I stay in the one shot that I have at the time and make the best decision I can, like with the crazy match play, I think I'll have a great opportunity. But, it's a little different format, so we're getting paid no matter what, and a lot of season left still to look forward to. So
we're both winning in the case. So
yeah.
I think that you two actually have the most competitive matchup on Saturday. We're all really looking forward to it. So thank you for the interview, and we'll see you on the live broadcast on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. See you on Saturday.